Welcome back to CBS4K, and this is Total War News. So, we are basically going to be looking at essentially a show and tell done by CA where they talked about the things they're working on with various games and various aspects of the games and various updates they're doing for current games that are out. But for the most part, they're just going over what potentially could be. It's not in the final form yet. If you want to do that, I would suggest you go on the forums or you go to where they're suggesting here in the video and find that to better guide them. Give them suggestions, really good suggestions. They really seem to want to do better, and that's an important first step because there's a lot of IP holders and various developers and TV show and movie directors and people just behind the scenes that straight up refuse to accept any sort of responsibility for the product sort of suffering. And the fact that they're going out and making an effort here, that's a good sign to me. It's a good sign. Will it pan out? Well, that's too early to tell. So hopefully it will pan out. But let's jump ahead because I didn't feel like watching the whole thing and watching it. So they're talking about the various units they're working on, how they're going to be working on them, the various steps and procedures they're doing to make Medieval 3 a very likable and playable game. They're trying to. My suggestion to them would be try to outdo what Medieval 2 was. It shouldn't be too hard because of how old the game is, but at current CA, I won't throw any shade, but current CA is going to struggle. But no. I think they'll do well. It's just like you have to realize what makes the old game work and then sort of work to improve that. Then they're showing before and after of various developments. I don't think. Yeah, and they're showing how their ladders. Oh, I'm moving over, huh? Also showing what they did for castles. Again, I'll leave the live stream in the description. Let's move on to Rome 2. If I recall correctly, they are increasing the battle, the visuals, and the campaign. And these are going to be big updates. I don't know if they're coming out all together or separately, but it should be stated that this could really, really help get Rome 2 up to what it should have been at the launch. I know some people say it's good now. If it's good now with mods but hopefully this will fix the issue for people who don't like to use mods because I get why some people are okay with mods, but I tried mods on some games, but there's like a few games I'm okay with mods on. But for the most part, I don't really like mods for some reason. Guess I'm a gaming snob. Okay, so before and we look at after. We got barracks and cohort. So they're showing the various steps to get to battles, public forming, the various technology changes in the game. This looks pretty interesting. I think it could work. Key changes. I shift over course of campaign. They're basically doing a new campaign AI update. But the most important thing about this update is Boris Topbringer, and he is going to be playable, I think. Cannot wait for it. Then they got new factions as well. The White Tiger. I really think there's not only this game, but this whole franchise has good potential if they play the cards right. Because we're going to get in here much more in Warhammer 40k, but the entire Warhammer franchise is a solid place to make a video game out of. I do feel like they haven't taken good advantage of it over the years, but hey, who am I to say? Well, I'm a consumer, so my opinion counts for a lot, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. It's kind of impressive what they've been doing with it by the looks of it. I do think they have a chance of, I won't say getting people back into Warhammer. Yeah, actually. I think a lot of people left or divorced themselves from it. I know Legend of Total War left, and I think that, I wouldn't say that destroyed them, but I feel like that was such a turning point, not in their favor, if you catch my drift. Like, if he is the big guy who plays Total War and he's not interested, yeah, that's not good. That was a nice charge. People, you know these guys from Yaga's cast. He looks like he lost weight. Simon looks like he lost weight. That's good for him. Okay, so we got like all those three out the way, but I feel like this is the main one, and it's the Warhammer 3. And they showed various aspects of it, but mostly they showed the planet stuff. There's no hint yet on space battles. They didn't mention it, so be prepared for that not to be on launch. Be prepared for that to not be here. They said they're going to go into greater detail at the end of the video, and not at the end of it, but they said the dates of when they were going to go into greater detail at the end of the video. So yeah, keep your eye out there. So I keep saying so. So. I think I'm just trying to get an overall feeling for this, and I do feel like they're trying to do better. From this video alone, from this live stream, I do feel like they're trying to do better. They talk about the community inbox. We'll leave it on right here. They're setting up different biomes. They have basically a planet generating I would say AI, but I think they're working on it to such a degree that, yeah, you know what? They're probably using AI for this bit, because there's a lot of planets and you can't just have people handcraft that. But they're going to have a lot of different biomes, different planets. You're going to be fighting in a battle, and you're going to be in a group of people come in to help you or fight against you. I remember they were talking about a group of guardsmen fighting a threat, and you can come in and assist them in the middle of their battle. It's actually a very interesting concept they're working with here. I don't know if they can pull it off that well. We'll have to see. Hopefully they can. Like, to me, what they're trying to do is they're really trying to build back the Total War brand. And while they don't have competition right now per se, more and more game developers are starting to try to take their chances at being a Total War Part 2, or a Total War that listens to the consumer, or the customer, as I like to say. I prefer customer. Yeah, we'll go with customer. Who listens to the customer, and basically they're going to outdo them simply by being that reasonable, that flexible. I don't have many examples to come to mind, but one that I do have is Master Command. That game has similar Total War aspects, and it does the Napoleonic era sort of combat pretty well. So there is a chance that they could do a better version of that in the future with that game studio. if they try. Now, like I said before, they don't have competition. Total War doesn't have competition in this department of a campaign and of a turn-based campaign and a real-time battles. They don't really have that much in the form of competition, but I'm always pointing out, just because you don't have competition today doesn't mean you don't have competition in the future. So if they really want to keep their stranglehold over the strategy and tactical genres, I would recommend that they do what they're doing right now, which is trying to cater their games to the consumers of this type of genres, because it's two genres smashed together to make one super genre that they have basically sole rights to. And with the Warhammer franchise, they could really make something that would last decades, if not years. The years, if not decades. I got those two flipped around in my brain for some reason. My brain's all over the place. Yeah, I think that's about it. I don't think there's not that much else I want to talk about with this. In the description, there should be a link to this live stream. Hopefully, you don't mind it from YouTube. I don't really have one from Twitch, but I could try. I didn't find one from Twitch. I don't want to go through all those platforms, but I'll just give you one. You guys can figure it out from there. Yeah, you figure it out. I don't need to go jumping through hoops. Now it was not helping out a customer. Look, this video has gone on too long, and I need to land it before I start saying crazy nonsense like I always do in these outros, because I'm terrible at outros. And the reason I'm terrible at outros is because I don't want to see you guys go. I want to stay with you guys. I want to be your best friend. In fact, I've decided we're best friends. Deal with it. See what I mean by talking nonsense? Alright guys, I'll see you in the next one. This is CBS4K, and it's been Total War News. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe button. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.